We try to go against nature,
Yeah.
and I don't think we're supposed to.
No.
Um,
But it's
because
a conflict. It helps. It helps. Whether you, for me, whether you want to accept it or not, conflict is a part of the human condition, and it helps. The fact that you have to be twice as good to get half as much as a black person means when you make it, you're unstoppable. The fact that you get to be, white and widely accepted, because if I walk into a bank to get a loan and the loan officer dude is black, I immediately feel like I have a 20% better chance. Now, if you walk around with white skin, that's an automatic 20% feel better no matter what it is. And I can't be mad at that because my percentages are lower.
Yeah.
But that also makes me exotic.
Yeah.
But I can't be mad that you're taking advantage of the same.
Because you're supposed to.
Because you're supposed to.
Mike, you straight from the south side. Mike, I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
I don't have an issue with white people taking advantage of their whiteness.
Nah.
I think it's
when they be fake
nature.
about it, I don't like it.
Yeah. To act like, oh yeah, you got away with some shit.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to apply yourself.
Yeah, but there's so many things that I don't ever even stop to consider. Right? I'm 6 feet tall. I don't stop to consider what benefits come with being 6
because it's
feet
just
tall.
who you are.
It's just who I am. I can see the top of the refrigerator. There's a certain group of girls that are going to be
the height.
Are just off the height. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's cats out there that can grow a beard. I can't grow a beard. They're gonna get certain. You know what I mean? I can't be a security guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just without a beard. Come on, knock this nigga out, man. This no beard half-ass. Knock this nigga out right quick.
So it's when you realize that you were dealt this hand for a reason.
Yeah.
Because we're all here for a reason. Neil deGrasse Tyson had brought this up in some kind of way. He was like,
okay,
out of all of the possibilities, you are the 1% of the 1% that made it. Right?
Yeah.
And to get here, just from your father to your mother, you are the sperm that made it to be here. And then you say, okay, and in addition to that, you actually had the privilege of getting birthed.
Yeah.
Then you got it, and it's just so many things that all these obstacles. So you're here for some odd reason or another, natural selection of things. You were dealt the hand that you were dealt. Play it.
Yeah, of course.
Play it. White people, be you. Just understand that when that shit goes left, I'm gonna slap you for it.
Hey, that's out there. Do you know how much I never stop to consider how much easier I have in life than women?
Absolutely.
I never once stopped.
My wife, she brings it up. She like, because she has to go into the office, right? And she has to come home, and it's usually sometimes it's dark or it's late or whatever, and then she has to walk in by herself. And I never have that fear of having to walk in the house by myself. Never even considered.
She brings it up. Unless they bring it up, you don't stop to that. They're always scared.
Yeah.
There's always, bro. I was at the gym last night.
I forget who said it, man. They're like, man, could you imagine having to walk around with a pussy?
And tits are just getting in the way.
Yeah.
When you try to run away a fight, you just got tits.
You gotta hold them and shit.
And that's what they going for too. So
yeah. Oh man.
Yo,
it's tough.
It's criminal. So and look, when I think about it like that, right? Like I'm never like, man, I feel sorry for women. They really got a bum rap in this world sometime. I also can't be mad that there's some white dude's not wasting his time exactly at this moment going
to take care of black problems.
Oh, those black folks.
we gotta help them, guys. No, because
why would you?
Yeah,
there's too much shit to worry about.
It's always something to worry about.
Always something to worry about.
Always something to worry about. So yeah, to that point of speaking of women, I'm not mad that women have found a way to put a price tag on their pussy.
No. Why would you? It makes the world go round.
It makes the world go round. It provides for her in a way that she can take care of herself, take care of her offsprings in a way. I feel better because now This is transactional. Whatever rigmarole I thought I had to go through with courting her and creating this whole thing, unless I want to, we don't have to.
It's a responsibility that I can't fathom until I was ever to get to a point where I'm advertised as having a lot of money and the tables get turned, that I'm just constantly desirable to women that don't know me at all.
Yeah.
Where I walk into a room and I'm immediately desirable to 80% of the women in there just because everybody in the room knows I'm that dude. I got it. And that's to walk around, to be born with that. Even if you're ugly, fat, no matter what color you is, you're missing 3 fingers, you know what I mean? You got a glass eye, you still have this, which puts you at a level with I've got to make, bitch, you've got one hand, a glass eye, and a heavy foot.
Yeah.
and bitch, I got to make $100,000.
Yeah.
To be as recognizable as you when
I step into a bar.
When I step into a bar, I can walk up to you with all that, and if you don't know, you could be like, nah, not really, bitch. What?
Yeah, absolutely. Could you imagine to be Chris Brown? Probably, heterosexually speaking, the most attractive, popular, artistic, creative,
Dance,
talented.
He backflips.
He has the infinity stones of being a black guy. And yet and still, he only hit one woman. And he's still being crucified for that shit.
Oh, and I guarantee she started it.
Yeah.
I guarantee that was his one punch to her 27. And you see that forehead, she probably knocked this nigga. She probably knocked 4 different goddamn dance moves out this nigga. What you say, Chris Brown? Bah! He's
songs he was planning on writing. He can't even think of them no more. He got CTE. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Chris Brown got... But what do? Because had that not happened, this nigga probably could have been president.
Yeah.
He had all the likability. Still in a lot of ways he still do, because he's still touring, he's still making money. Right. But there's this asterisk on him, and he just has to, that was his humbling card.
Yeah, it's the thing that they're always going to be able to pull out on him to say, you're getting a little too big for your britches.
He act better than Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, his dance moves are better than Michael Jackson, respectfully. Because can't nobody do a roundhouse kick, but we can all moonwalk. You know what I'm saying?
Now she's living her best life. She's borderline untouchable, and she's you could tell she's a legitimate boss. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. Another episode of R.A.P podcast. I'm in 50-something. I feel like it's 56. Could be 57. You already know that I never remember the thing. We have comedian extraordinaire, Brandon Taylor, and you also know what time it is. We're going to hop right back into the conversation we were just having, catch up. But you could tell Rihanna is like a legitimate boss, and I don't even really like hearing girl boss. You know what I mean? Because that's
a stain on it a little bit.
You know what? Saying girl boss is the same as saying African American. Like, I know what you mean, but why is that person American? I'm African American. I don't hear a lot of
she should just be boss.
I don't hear a lot of other whatchamacalls in front of for a lot of other people. Exactly. But she's a legitimate boss, and I think Chris Brown. So because it feels like Chris Brown is a boss in his own right, that he really takes charge of his own career and his vision. And I don't necessarily think that two legitimate A-type personalities can be romantically linked. Yeah. There has to be a B-side. And this is no shade to my guy ASAP. Because I think he's a visionary.
But
I think he's a real savvy
if he'd have been
dude.
in something different, it doesn't work, because there's no yin and yang. It's just yin and yin. If you don't have somebody that can defer or play second.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta have. There's the Godfather, and there's the underboss, and then there's the consigliere.
Yeah,
you gotta have everybody that's in tune with their roles, and just because it's the male figure and the female figure, that ain't got nothing to do with who's the boss and who's second in command.
Correct.
And being second in command
is not a slight.
It's not a slight, because I say it. I've said it. I'm a firm believer. I was not born a leader, right? I can lead, and in some of my ventures that I have going on, I am the leader, right? But I was not. You see a natural leader from 18 miles away. You see a leader, even if they ain't got nothing going. They carry themselves in a way. They carry themselves in a way.
My wife is like that.
That's fire.
She does project managing here in Chicago. But she's a better leader than me because she's more detail oriented. You know what I'm saying? She has great organizational skills. Yes. She has great communication skills in ways that I lack. So when we moved here to Chicago, I'm going to make comedy work, so I'm unemployed in the other regards. But she was bringing all the money, so it was like the dynamic shift.
Yeah.
And instead of me being in my body about it, being in my emotions and my feelings as a man, I welcomed it. So now I'm like, well, I'm gonna make sure I'm cooking breakfast, and I'm gonna have dinner ready, and I'm gonna have the laundry done. And I started finding other ways to show I contribute to our day-to-day.
As long as the hustle is up, I don't think you lose face.
You don't. But a lot of men, or there are men who can't make that adjustment. You know, I gotta be QB1. You know, and it's like you don't, and you're probably a better wide receiver anyway.
Yeah, and on top of that, because I think you're absolutely right, and the number that you are on the call sheet or the totem pole does not dictate your power level, because through my eyes and who I've tried to develop myself as, you take Game of Thrones, right? There was a king, and it was a new king every 7 episodes. Whoever the king was got their head chopped off, and now it's a new person coming up, and you just start the countdown. Let's see how long they gonna last. Who was the power in that? It was the hand of the king. The number 2 was the most consistent, least likely to get their head chopped off that entire show. When you heavy is the head that wears the crown. When you do, you're the figurehead. But you also the one with the biggest target on your back. So, and that's not to say that being number 1 is the worst, but I'm just saying whichever role, figure out your role, and then put your best effort behind that, because power will come from that, whether it's 1, 2, 3 position, you know, or if or just be the best soldier that you can be. And you can be king of the soldiers.
Because regardless of what is like you said on the call sheet, it's all about your perspective and how you rock your shot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of sports has been won by the second guy or the non-star.
Bro, the what was it? The 1998 or 99, I forget which year they won it. San Antonio Spurs was the greatest WNBA team I've ever seen in my entire life.
Talk your shit.
They played they was a different group. But they had it. It was a team full of 2s and 3s.
But when you realize we got a cohesive unit,
they said, hey, ain't none of us gonna go crazy. Yo, Ginobili. Yo, who's tall boy?
Tim Duncan. Yep.
And you had
David Robinson and
they had David Robinson for like 2-3 years. And got him a ring. You know what I mean? So
ego, when you put ego out aside, you realize.
Now look at this. That was a team full. I put David Robinson up there as a leader, but I mean, really, after a while, Tim Duncan took control of the team. But for all intents and purposes, Tim Duncan wasn't you're
not a vocal guy. Yeah.
He wasn't doing no last dance stuff. It was a lot of dudes that just said, all right, hey, when we pull the weave, you know to be in your position. Well, Popovich, he was probably low key the actual true leader. He was one of the only people that didn't have a superstar on the team,
But
so
knew how to
everybody just
make it
played their
work.
role. Now you take a look at no shade. Take a look at LeBron James. He is the number
The
one of the
team.
entire league, but in his heart, he's actually a number two.
He would love to defer.
He's not a killer.
That's not his
And as
role.
soon as he got to Miami, he couldn't wait to hand the steering wheel to D Wade. And when D Wade won his first ring, before LeBron ever even got there, he had
he stood on that
Shaquille
totem pole.
O'Neal on the
Yeah.
team and said, "Yo, Shaq, your knees is bad. Your
Let me
toes
get-
are
let
swollen.
me handle this.
Hand me the rock. You just sit there and I can dish it off if I got to, but I got this, bro." I still remember watching them games on his first run,
Absolutely.
and he's hitting bank shots to the
Absolutely.
point when I saw his fourth bank shot, I was like, "Oh, he's doing this on purpose." Oh,
It's
this dude's
skill.
a beast.
It's skill.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He's cold at that. But you gotta be willing to accept your role, whether it's the A player or the B player, and just say, "Yo, I'm gonna play this to the best of my ability."
Absolutely. Which is crazy to me that LeBron does it the opposite. He's doing the same thing you're saying, but in the opposite direction. Because some people will be a 2 or a 3 or a 4 and try and force themselves into 1 because they want the shine.
Yeah.
They want the shine of being number 1, but you're really not a number 1.
Yeah.
Sorry. But LeBron has every genetic gift of being a number 1 and tries his hardest to be a number 2 or a number 3. And it's like, what? You could cut off both of Michael Jordan's feet.
And he was still.
He's gonna Kunta Kinte from the free throw line, bro.
Absolutely. I think it's about your genetic makeup. Because take it to stand up. There are people who are great with stage presence but can't write a fucking joke.
Facts.
Respectfully, Mike Epps is a naturally hilarious person in a room.
You just give him the mic and
just let him go.
Just let him go.
And then you have people who can't do that.
Sure.
And they need it at some way written out for them. And then you got a guy like Dave Chappelle who can do a little bit of everything. And when you realize, because part of it is being honest with yourself.
That's hard
And
thing to do.
and being able to say, to be able to say, you know what, I'm better at this, but it doesn't give me as much camera time when I do it. And how do you let your ego say, just do what you're better at and stop forcing this and see what blessings come when you just be in your bag.
That's even harder to do when you see somebody you think you're better than doing the thing that you wish you were better at.
Oh man, it's tough.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm way colder than
Yeah.
you. How the hell you?
The ego. The
It's
ego.
a hell of a thing. It helps and it hurts at the same time. If you don't know how to manage it, it's real easy for it to consume you for sure.
You watched the Def Jam 25 on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
So after they got through a lot of the scripted teleprompter portions of it, they were like, all right, we're going to let everybody get 5 to 7 minutes, right? And they started letting cats go up and do a couple of things. I think Said went up, and he didn't necessarily have a whole set, but he had like a little jab, like, hey, shout out to the white comics of Def Comedy Jam, and he pointed them out. Boom, he was done. There was a part where Mike Epps and Joe Torre, shout out to St. Louis, had to go up, and they were supposed to
Joe
roast.
Torre, St. Louis? Mm-hmm. 5.
Right? So they were supposed to go up and roast the audience because that was part of their thing. And I noticed Joe, for as funny as he can be, the moment, in my opinion, was too bright for him. Because Mike was able to shine because he just got to do him. He didn't have to have nothing written. He could just get the mic and just be.
And again, he might have been out of practice because Mike Epps is working. Mike Epps stays working. And if Joe Torre been up in his basement just doing push-ups.
And you gotta work.
And whatchamacallit, and then he just popped up. Yeah. Your talent's going to get you, is going to fill you about 50, 60%. But if you out of practice,
you
second guess yourself.
That's my biggest takeaway on myself. I don't practice enough.
Like getting stage time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That Mamba mentality where I'm gonna get up every 5 a.m. and go hit the gym. I'll have it for a spurt and then like, man, I'm not doing this today. I'm gonna find something else to do. I'll write all day. I'll write every day. But what it takes to be a constant performer, I probably should be up way more than I am. Right.
I mean, it's fire that you write every day because at least you're still tapping in. You're still tapping into the well and letting it know that you're around, so the inspiration's still there. But yeah, getting as much stage time as possible because it turns the volume down on everything else. Even when jokes may not necessarily go the way you want them to or anything, it's just it's less of an impact because you're just in that constant state
of funny and flow.
Yeah.
My partner Chris Mosley, he runs shows out there in Phoenix. He talks about being in that Dragon Ball Z hyperbolic chamber, being in your Super Saiyan mode all the time, to where you're not having to turn it on. It's just, you know what I'm saying, at the snap of a finger. But it's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
On the mental, on the body, on your personal life. You know what I'm saying. You get tired of it. You know what I'm saying?
You got to give up. You got to give up a lot to want to pursue anything in life.
Yeah.
If you want to be a professional bass fisher, you have to spend some late nights out on the water.
You out there every day.
You out there every day.
5 a.m. joints.
Let me ask you, man, what do you, and there's no right answer to this, but from anything that comes into your atmosphere of consumption, right? What do you think about what's going on with the Ukraine-Russia situation right now? Because I want to say, I'm asking because today, and this episode will probably be out when this is old news in like 3 or 4 days, because that's how the cycle is. But from my understanding, today was the day that President Putin flew out to Alaska and President Trump flew out to Alaska and they met up. And I believe also President Zelensky of Ukraine also had a meeting with President Trump today to discuss like ceasefire, peace treaties. I think they're talking about like, how everything's going to settle out for the map. So is this information in your feed? Is this something you're concerned about? Are you like, hey, that's them over there, it's another country, it's none of my business?
Yeah, I'm like that. I can be. I think sometimes black people, we can be concerned a little too much. Not to say that it's wrong to be concerned, because we should be, because this affects everybody. I just, at some points, you want to just take a break from it as a black person. But from my brief, looks into it, I don't think anything's going to change. I do hope that they stop bombing them folks. I do hope that the ceasefire does happen, because while it doesn't affect me personally, if I was there, I'd want the powers that be to finally sit down and talk and say, yo, let's stop it. It's terrifying to see what's happening over there. And as an American, I think, oh, we're safe. Nobody's going to do that until you have a 9/11 happen. And we think, oh, well, that was 9/11. And then you hear the conspiracy theories. Well, it was an inside job. But man, if somebody threw a bomb and hit us here in Chicago, it would be terrifying. Because you don't know who's going to be affected. You don't know how that's going to be impacted. And it could be you. You know? And so I do take it seriously. But for my mental health, I only watch so much of it. Because that stuff will be on your feed all day. And you'll doom scroll and just get swept into that, you know?
Yeah. Just now you said, hey, what's going on over there? You hope it stops. It's terrifying. And had you asked me that question and I was thinking on my feet and just flowing, I would have said the same thing. And I'm going to take it off Ukraine and Russia, and I'm not going to say anywhere in specific, because people are getting blown up over the entire world right now. It's hot all over, right?
Gaza.
And I would say It's terrifying. And again, to not name anywhere specific, when you say it's terrifying, I agree with you because those are the words I would have used. But if I'm being honest, no, I'm not. I'm not terrified because it doesn't happen here. I see it.
I feel that.
I see it on a thing in my phone. I care about it for as long as it's on my phone.
Yeah.
And then I'm caring about
Everything else
whatever key and pill thing shows up, and
Absolutely.
and I move on, and it's so compartmentalized.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see people, and I could absolutely be wrong because I don't know how anybody's minds work. And I see people that do get jazzed up over some of these issues,
And they get
it's
consumed by it.
It's not even this conflict, that conflict. It's whatever's hype for the day.
Conflict.
And then they
be jazzed up about.
And it's like, how did? And I always I'm wondering, like, are you just a passionate person in general? Are you passionate about this specific topic? Are you know what I mean? Like,
Can
where
you
is
move this energy to anything else?
Because while you have your energy for this, it's happening there,
Straight down the street,
and there.
Yeah,
it's happening here, there.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like, where do you? And that's not to be a pessimistic.
But that selective outrage can be annoying.
It can be because it's a constant wave. Because when that person stops, this person starts, and I love, actually, the opposite. One of the things that bugs me, and it's the quickest way to make me walk away from a conversation or try and duck out. And it's another reason why I really love talking to comics, because I don't tend to see this with comics, is people will start discussing the issue, the problem, whether it be in politics, whether it be in world economics, whether it be in food or what, whatever bad things are going on, and they will sit there without taking a breath for 22 minutes and tell you what the issue is, and there's not even the hint of a resolution. There will be a resolution, which is like, well, we should just give them food for the next 5 years. Yeah. Okay, so there's this thing called money.
Mm-hmm. And
the more I learned about money, the more I understand I don't know a whole lot about money. You know what I mean? Which is the same with everything else. So that sounds fantastic, because 20, 40, whatever trillion dollars the debt is in America, we can keep pretending.
When you talk to people who work in healthcare, especially those who are compassionate about those who can't afford it, right? Because that is a thing. Not everybody can afford healthcare, but everybody should have it. Sure. But then it's like, well, how do you pay for it? Where does the funds come to do this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you work in a non-profit sort of space, somebody's got to write the check. You know what I'm saying? And people forget that part of it. I've been working in the financial industry almost 10 years. I've been working in the retirement sector. And what I know about money is that when products or vehicles or institutions aren't making money, they don't last, because the well dries up.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's trying to do this for free. Think about it. Chicago, it's still kind of summertime. We love getting out on the lake, riding the boats. Them boats cost. If you can't afford a boat, you don't get to get on a boat. That doesn't mean that the world is terrible because you don't get to have the experience of a boat.
You don't get no fried rice, no champagne, no nothing. Pay me my money.
Facts.
So bet it back.
It come down to that. And so, yeah, when you say people have that selective outrage where they can rattle off all the problems, yeah, you're great at pointing out or being pessimistic about the state of the world, but what solutions do you have?
I mean, they're really...
And they're just like, well, it just shouldn't be like that. And I say that because sometimes it'd be women. I don't hear too many guys kind of give that, because I think... From my experience, women speak from an emotional state of mind.
They're more in touch with their emotions.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
But emotions don't always come up with a solution. It just tells you what you don't like.
Sure. And Well, there's two different things, and I actually somebody put me onto the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0.
Okay.
Some time back, because there is EQ. Your whole life you hear about IQ, intellectual quotient, right? But I never really stopped to consider
The
emotional
emotional
quotient, right?
Okay.
And to even though every generation tears down the generation coming up in front of them, just because that's just what you do.
Yeah.
I will say for this younger generation now, they are more in touch with emotional intelligence and their with therapy and
Oh,
looking
yeah.
inward and all this other good stuff. But bro, like being purely logical, they did a real good. I'm old as shit. They did a really good job showing that dynamic in like the old Star Trek shows.
Okay.
Because Spock was devoid of all emotions. There's absolutely no emotions there. And Captain Kirk's a hothead. He lets his emotions get in the way. So they took one person, split him into two,
Yeah.
and then said, and that goes back to the power balance that we was talking about
Yeah.
before. Spock wasn't less than because he was the number two. He was the checks and balances for Captain Kirk. Because if Captain Kirk didn't have Spock, he would have got their ass blown up
Long time
every
ago.
4 days.
Yeah.
He would have been fly to the middle of the sun. We'll figure it out.
We have to try to save one
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, and if you would have let Spock be in charge, it just wouldn't have worked. They would have just,
He would. So I'm glad you brought that up because, like you said, emotional intelligence is important. It's the thing is we haven't found a way to balance it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because for as important as logic is, logic would tell you we should probably cut off 50% of the population so that we don't have to continue to
Thanos.
eat, processed food and clone chicken and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? The Thanos thing. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to be purely logic.
Yeah.
Because that will prevent me from thinking of those who are less than, who can't do for themselves.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to the guy Nipsey Hussle.
Facts.
Smart brother. Driven, motivated, savvy, hustler.
Absolutely.
Now he's in a parking lot with a dude, from my understanding, by the name of Shitty Crip. And in the parking lot in Slauson, whatever his hood was, he said out loud in front of this dude that has nothing to lose that you're a snitch. And basically, this I don't know this. I was not there, but this is word on the street. This is on the grapevine.
Yeah.
That he called Buddy a snitch on the street, loud enough for other people to hear. And this dude had nothing to lose, and you basically just signed his death note.
Yep.
And he crashed out.
Yeah.
He was already, his bank account balance was 38 cents. And you just hit him with $1,000 million fine. And he was like, "Oh, okay. So there really is nothing to lose.
Let me crash out.
Let me crash out then." And that for as smart as Nipsey was, what he was doing with his 24 hours was trumping my 24 hours. I'm still trying to catch up. He been gone for a minute,
Yeah.
So to say that he was that smart and he still possibly had a lapse in emotional intelligence to say, hey, this might not have handled
that differently.
Not even emotional intelligence for Buddy that's outside of his
your
control,
own person.
but his own. He let his own. And I listened to a lot of his music, not even just the most recent before he passed, but he said, "Yo, I think one of his literal lyrics was short fuse might be the end of a crib or whatever. Like short fuse on the crib might be the end of me or something." It was something like that, right? Like he diagnosed himself and still fell prey to his own lack of restraint and emotional intelligence, and it cost him it cost him the entire game.
It's a Boondocks episode, having a nigga moment.
Having a nigga moment, bro.
Because while
I've seen him firsthand, I know you've seen him first. I ain't even gotta ask.
Yeah. To be in a space to not choose your words carefully.
Or choose your actions.
Or choose your actions. Because while, yeah, you might be logically right that he is a snitch, and to maybe want to notify those around you of his doings is probably a logical thing to do, but is it the smart thing to do? And that's hindsight 2020. Not to speak on Nipsey, this is more so a bigger discussion for at least for men, as we because we're sitting here. Yo, sometimes you gotta just be like, yeah, all right, bro, and just let it go.
Because you could take color completely off the table, culture completely off the table. If you're a man and you're in the realm of heterosexual men, right? And you're playing by those sets of rules in the world. There's a lot of pomp, circumstance, posturing. You know what I mean? Like if we're walking by each other on the street and you don't move your shoulder out the way,
and we bump,
and then we do the shoulder look, and we lock eyes. It's like, all right, we're taking these steps that are leading to like something. We know the rules.
I was on the Vegas Strip, me and my lady bumped into a dude. And now, like you just said, same scenario. But instead of us taking it, we both said, my bad, bro. Like,
it's that easy.
like Jinx.
It's that
and we just kept going. It's like, this doesn't have to be a thing. We don't have to kill each other. We don't have to escalate it. We don't have to let testosterone win the moment.
But it'd be a lot of people that's slow. And you also, there's too many, there is billions of variables with any one person at any given moment it's set it off time now, man. The person that you bump shoulders with, they might have had their head down because there's 1,000 million things going on in their mind about who just passed, what just happened, the beef they got into with their old lady.
Can I afford this next date? I'm gonna take this woman on.
I got a court date and it ain't looking good. Did this dude just bump me? And did he not say nothing?
Yeah. I can't take no more.
You
know, yeah. I jump back a little bit. Told you we went to South Africa.
Yeah.
Part of the tour, we got to take a boat tour, and we got to look, do the safari and all that stuff. And we watched a mama hippo and a baby hippo in the water, and it was so cute. The cutest thing.
Yeah.
The mama hippo turned her head for just one too many minutes, and the gator got that baby hippo.
Are you in front of you?
In front of us. We watched it. And I was like, man, the jungle is so real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we as humans, we got all this civilization. We got cars, but it's like, yo, life happens quick. If you don't get your IQ and your EQ up to par, you will be somebody's lunch.
Those are big facts. One of the biggest life lessons I ever learned, I learned from our old house cat by the name of Smokestack. Bro, this had to have been mid-90s. I'm in junior high, maybe the beginning of high school. We have our little house cat, right? I go to mess with. I've been fucking with him all day, just spraying him with the water bottles, smacking him on his ass, throwing him across the room, whatever. And I went and I did something, and I got his ass. Whatever I did, I might have popped him, scared him, whatever. That wasn't abusing him, you know what I mean? But I was fucking with him.
You playing him as a kid?
Playing him, and cats is like, he started throwing jabs, you know what I mean? But he couldn't get me. So, it died down. I went about my business. What I didn't know is that in his cat brain, he was like, oh, I'm getting my lick back.
I'm on your ass.
He stalked me. He plotted. He stalked me. And he got his get back.
Damn.
And I learned that moment. I said, oh, revenge ain't even a human thing. He wanted his get back. Like, he plotted. He sat down. He must have crawled into like... He must have crawled in like to the closet and busted out like a paper and pencil, drew like a Home Alone map. It was like,
He said, oh no, he dies tonight.
I'm finna ride on this fool. at me, bro. And I was like, oh my God, that blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
That he had the capacity for revenge, which I can't diagnose it, but that comes with so many other
You would think
outlying
that's
things that is.
You gotta have opposable thumbs to do
I
that.
would have been less impressed if he would have taught himself how to poop on a toilet and wipe his own ass. The fact that he plotted his revenge and waited,
Yes,
until I was
he stayed mad long enough.
He waited for me to not even fall asleep, but he waited for me to be off my square and was like,
Yeah, you lacking. You lacking, big dog.
so I'm just the nigga to steal on.
Right, I'm just that nigga to steal on, huh?
Alright.
Told you I'll get your motherfucking money when I got it. God damn it.
I ain't done been out the joint about 3 weeks. Only time you got my money.
On your
You
ass.
don't need some money? Nah, but here you go.
Man, you hit something, man, because I've never considered revenge from a species that we typically think lesser than. You know what I'm saying?
That's such a powerful emotion that it crossed. Man, look, bird flu hasn't even crossed over into humans yet, but revenge crossed over into animals?
You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
Okay, so you brought up bird flu. I'm a big movie guy.
Okay. Outbreak.
Outbreak, right? Why haven't we got a new Birds movie?
I mean, what's scarier than the stuff we have right now, man? Mother Nature isn't really as scary as it used to. It's gonna come back because technology is gonna go so far that. Hey, all right, so I do have a question for you, right? For every action, there's a reaction.
Okay.
Right? That's the law of inertia. Right now, technology is booming. Mm-hmm. And the artificial intelligence is doing what it's doing, and of course, there's gonna be one day, when it, and we're never gonna look back, and it's gonna be like, wow, what's going on here? It's coming soon,
Yeah.
I'm almost in a rush to try and get stuff done because when that day comes,
I'm obsolete.
there's no, you can't see beyond that next plateau that we hit. Like nobody saw beyond cell phones because there was no concept of it until it happened. So when this AI stuff actually starts being like real, nobody on this planet can see what happens after. So
you can't really think 20 years ahead
enjoy
of
reality while it's still what you think it is right now, right?
Absolutely.
But what is going to be the counterculture to AI when it happens? Because every Batman needs a Joker, right? Mm-hmm. So when AI is like, boom, we're all living in the Matrix by choice, whatever. What is the counterculture that's going to spawn, do you think?
You ever seen the movie Demolition Man?
One of my favorites, man.
Classic,
one of
right?
One of my Hey! He said, Simon Phoenix.
Yeah.
Put the weapon down and step back with your hands in the air. Say it again with more authority.
He
and include or else.
Bro, we are going to become the sewer people. Not
we're going to become the sewer.
We're going to be sewer people.
There's going to be sewer people. 1,000%.
Because they're already here. Now we just call them homeless.
Yeah.
But
if you don't want to plug in, you got to go somewhere.
The cost of living is not going down. The tech gods have figured out a way to make sure that if you want to keep this moving, you just got to pay us. If you got a computer guy on staff, he writes his own check. Because the moment something's not working, you're looking at him like, please fix it for us. Mm-hmm. And because of that, people are going to have to start living underground.
I don't think you're too far off, to be honest. It's going to be some people that are adamantly, I mean, a lot of them already exist. They're just in a forest somewhere in Montana. Mm-hmm.
You see people in tents now. I thought like Chicago just had this great camping community. No, it's people saying, I'm done paying rent. I'm not doing it no more. I bought a very nice tent and I found a way. I found a plot of land on Lakeshore Drive that I like. And that's it. And when that does no longer works, then people will go underground.
Yeah, bro, it's not too far off, man. I could actually talk to you for hours, man. It's been a tremendous conversation. We've been in
Absolutely.
like green rooms and all that other good stuff together, man. We haven't had a quiet time to sit down and chop it up, so I
Yeah.
definitely got to have you back. Do me a favor, let the folks know how they can find you. Anything you have coming up or you want to promote.
Once again, thanks for having me, Mike, man.
course, man.
This has been a dope experience. I love getting to chat with real cats, you know what I'm saying? So this was dope.
Likewise.
You can find me on social media, official Brandon Taylor on all platforms, comedian Brandon Taylor on Facebook. Things I got coming up. So I'm doing the What's Funny Festival this September. I'm performing at the St. Louis Arts Fair early September.
Fire.
And I do hosting every so often at the Rooftop Cinema in Fulton.
Okay.
At the Emily Hotel, beautiful hotel. They have a movie theater on the rooftop. Great date night. You should take your lady to go and enjoy that. I'm doing some like kind of like a date nights there.
Okay.
For singles coming up in September, and then because I don't do a lot of social media, I'm going to do like a 30-minute something and put it on YouTube and start getting my clips out there. That's the next project I want to do, man. And then have a baby at some point. I'm ready for that
All right,
shit.
there you go.
Dad life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Promoting fatherhood.
Yeah,
on the Real
already.
Rap Podcast.
Yeah, man. We need daddies out here.
Hey, yeah, we need population. Not gonna lie to you.
That part.
Mighty Night Comedy and all the things. You guys already know what it is. Real Rap Podcast. Keep checking us out, man. There's more in store. I told y'all I'm hella booked out, so you made it this far. Please like, share, subscribe. Check us out for more, man. I've been Mike Knight. This has been Brandon Taylor. Keep coming back, checking it out. Real Rap Podcast. Peace.
Peace.